Creationism vs. Evolutionism. Originally published on January 10, 2017. An up-close study of the Holy Quran and science reveals that the systems of evolution and creation are simultaneously at work. Humanity, in the first instance, was created as souls, and after taking an oath contract of elapse were put to dormancy. Humans, as agreed by many scholars and spiritualists, were spared. As for Adam, pvuh, so was Eve created and fully developed to accompany Adam, pvuh, and produce children. Q. 235, 36. After that, in the second instance, however, reproduction was subjected to physical processes of cause and effect and evolutionary processes in the womb of the mother. From clinging a clot to a fully developed baby in 9 months, Q. 2313, 14. Embryology did not exist as a science at the time of the Prophet. Neither was any terminology. One modern scholar, Usama al-Azami, suggested that both narratives of creation and evolution, as understood by modern science, may be accepted by all Muslims. The story of the creation of Adam, A.S., and creationism is scattered all over Quran in the following surahs, 2, 4, 5, 7, 15, 20, 21, 38, and others. Science has not, so far, been able to establish human evolution from other species conclusively. Darwinian theory of evolution, not a fact, has admittedly been falsified by Cambrian explosions known as Darwin's doubts. On the other hand, a single-celled organism was allowed perpetual evolution, culminating in many species at different intervals on its evolutionary journey. There are many facets involved in this process, such as mutation, genetic drift, gene flow, sexual selection, and layers of self-organization from the molecular level upward, showing how a design appears naturally, validating the presence of an intelligent designer. The process is ongoing, and many new species keep emerging. External/cosmetic changes like skin color, pigmentation, structural adjustment, mortality, etc. are continuing in human beings. Confirmed in Holy Quran, as we have created man in depth of symmetry, Q. 95:4. Negation of the evolutionary process in humans, except external/cosmetic adaptations, Q. 30:30. And so, set thy face steadfastly towards the one ever true faith, turning away from all that is false, by the natural disposition which God has instilled into man, for not to allow any change to corrupt what God has thus created. This is the purpose of the one ever true faith, but most people know it not. Assad. Therefore, stand firm in your devotion to the upright faith, the natural disposition made by Allah, the one on whose image man is created, and the laws of nature ordained by Allah cannot be changed. That is the standard of true faith, but most of humankind does not know. Malik. So set thy purpose, O Muhammad, for a religion as a man by nature, upright nature, framed, of Allah, in which he hath created man. There is no altering the laws of Allah's creation. That is an upright religion, most men know not. Pickthall. So set thou thy face steadily, and honestly to the faith, establish Allah's handiwork according to the pattern, on which he has made humankind, no change, let there be, in the work, wrought, by Allah, that is the standard religion, but most among the humankind understand not. 3540, 3541, 3542 Yusuf Ali. O children of Adam, R.A. We have descended for you raiment to conceal your shame, and splendid vesture, to adore yourself, but the covering of taqwa is the best. Q. 726. The raiment would have not sent to apes but fully developed human being. Quran affirmed both the parallels creationism, 235 and 36, and evolutionism, 23:13 and 14. Human beings, along with some other species as well, fall under creationism. Most species, however, evolved from single-cell organisms to complex organisms. Selected, ordained mutation. In the 19th century, a scholar of Islamic revival, Jamal-Al-Din Al Afghānī, agreed with Darwin that life will compete with other life to succeed. He also believed there was competition in the realm of ideas like that of nature. Yet life was originated by God. Darwin did not discuss the origin of life, saying, "Probably all the organic beings which have ever lived on this earth have descended from some primordial form, into which was the life breathed first." A contemporary of Al-Afghani, Shia scholar Hussein Al-Jisr asserted that there is no contradiction between evolution and the Islamic scriptures. He stated that there is no evidence in the Quran to suggest whether all species, each of which exists by the grace of God, were created all at once or gradually, and referred to the story of creation mentioned in Sūrah Al-Anbiyā. In Turkey, important scholars strove to accommodate the theory of evolution in Islamic scripture during the first decades of the Turkish Republic. Their approach to the theory defended Islamic belief in the face of scientific theories of their times. Immunological time scale for hominid evolution. Vincent M. Sarek 1. Alan C. Wilson 2 Science, December 1, 1967. 158, issue 3805, pages 1200 to 1203. Boyd, 10.1126/science.158.3805.1200. Several workers have observed that there is an extremely close immunological resemblance between the serum, a pale, yellow liquid that separates from the clot in the coagulation of the blood, albumins, sulfur-containing water-soluble proteins which coagulate when heated, of apes and man. Our studies with the quantitative microcomplement fixation method confirm this observation. To explain the closeness of the resemblance, previous workers suggested that there has been a slowing down of albumin evolution since the time of the divergence of apes and man. Recent evidence, however, indicates that the albumin molecule has evolved at a steady rate. Hence, we suggest that apes and men have a more recent common ancestry than thought. Our calculation suggests that if men and Old World monkeys last shared a common ancestor 30 million years ago, then man and African apes shared a common ancestor 5 million years ago in the Pliocene era. Refutation. The above work/experiment clearly shows a focused/targeted experiment on apes, most probably due to apes' proximity with a man, ignoring the possibility of serum and albumins being commonplace amongst many other species. Q. 30:30, negates the evolution in humans. The place of the Australopithecines in human evolution, grounds for doubt? C.E. Oxnard ***. Although most studies emphasize the similarity of the Australopithecines to modern man, and suggest, therefore, that these creatures were bipedal toolmakers, at least one form of which, Australopithecus africanus Homo habilis, Homo africanus, was almost directly ancestral to man, a series of multivariate statistical studies of various postcranial fragments suggests other conclusions. Their locomotion may not have been like that of modern man and may, though, including a form or forms of bipedality, have been different enough to allow marked abilities for climbing. Bipedality may have arisen more than once. The Australopithecine displayed that one or more bipedality experiments failed. The genus Homo may be so ancient as to parallel entirely the Australopithecus genus, denying the latter a direct place in the human lineage. Over 500 scientists proclaim their doubts about Darwin's theory of evolution. Robert L. Crowther, 2 at R. L. Crowther. February 20, 2006, 7:28 a.m. https://evolutionnews.org/2006/02/over_500_scientists_proclaim_t. Drift, admixture, and selection in human evolution, a study with DNA polymorphisms. A. M. Baucock, J. R. Kidd, J. L. Mountain, J. M. Hebert, L. Caratinudo, K. K. Kidd, and L. L. Cavalli Sforza. Department of Genetics, Stanford University, California, 94305. Thank you for using Panopreter Basic. Abstract. Accuracy of evolutionary analysis of populations within a species requires testing many genetic polymorphisms belonging to many loci. We report here a reconstruction of human differentiation based on 100 DNA polymorphisms tested in 5 populations from 4 continents. The results agree with earlier conclusions based on other classes of genetic markers but reveal that Europeans do not fit a simple model of independently evolving populations with equal evolutionary rates. Evolutionary models involving early admixture are compatible with the data. Taking one such model into account, we examine through simulation whether random genetic drift alone might explain the variation among gene frequencies across populations and genes. A measure of the variation among populations calculated for each polymorphism, its distribution of the 100 polymorphisms compared with that expected for a drift-only hypothesis. At least 2/3 of the polymorphisms appear to be selectively neutral, but there are significant deviations at the two ends of the observed distribution of the measure of variation, a slight excess of polymorphisms with low variation and a greater excess with high variability. It indicates that a few DNA polymorphisms are affected by natural selection, rarely heterotic, and more often disruptive, while most are selectively neutral. Evolution was an Islamic theory before Darwin was even born. O thou man! Verily thou art ever toiling on towards thy Lord. Painfully toiling, but thou shalt meet him. So, I do call to witness the ruddy glow of sunset, the night, and its homing, and the moon in her fullness. Ye shall surely travel from stage to stage. Q. Surah 84 in Shikak verses 16 to 19. Muslim scholars wrote about evolution 900 years before Darwin was born. Al-Ya'at, 776 to 868, Nasir ad-Din Tasi, 1201 to 1274, Muhammad al-Naqshbandi, 10th century. There is a new breed of scholars, theologians, Pakistani Ghamidi included, who developed their thesis accommodating the scientific developments and the wide acceptance of the presence of humanoids before human beings. They construed the word chose Adam in the Holy Quran as chosen from the existing humanoids. This use of the word chose may be metaphorical. It, however, does not sit well with the dialogue between God and Adam and the related events and his eventual expulsion from paradise. In my opinion, there is a strong possibility that Adam's selection was from the human souls, already under the last contract, held in dormancy, and was taught and trained, an honored being, to be the progenitor of humanity on earth. Now, indeed, we have conferred dignity on the children of Adam, Q. 17:70. Ghazali. About sense perception made him very hesitant to accept the infallibility of reason. Ghazali believed in the testimony of sense until contradicted by the verdict of reason. Well, perhaps there is above reason another judge who, if he appeared, would convict reason of falsity, and if such a third arbiter is not yet apparent, it does not follow that he does not exist. With this quote from Ghazali, R.A., the conclusion is left to the reader's intellect and understanding of the topic. Comment /like /share /follow and subscribe. Shakir Mumtaz. Author, thinker, analyst. This audio file was created by Panopreter Basic. You can download it at www.panopreter.com.